Kevin, I think you're on mute.
Am I mute?
There we go. There we go.
Okay, there we go. We have some history.
Technology.
All
It's
right, now.
technology. Good thing this isn't a type product, but hey, thanks type for sponsoring this, right? Their technology actually works.
Just more technology over the PCS Summit. It's usually pretty good. But sound, I've been around the game. Something always goes wrong with TV and audio and live. You just got to roll with it. But thanks to everyone tuning in right now for the Road to the Summit. We're going to talk about the Broker Carrier Summit. It is summit season, so we're going to be talking about that. It's coming up very quickly here, late April 28th. To May 2nd in downtown Indianapolis, Indiana. We'll have a ton of brokers. There we go. There's our icon. Ton of brokers, ton of carriers, a ton of great technology to look over. They're at Union Station, a great historic downtown hotel in Indianapolis, and it's a full week. It's a full week. It starts off Monday with golf in the afternoon, and I'm so thankful it's in the afternoon. Golf and not at 7 a.m. in the morning on Monday morning. But we're going to kick it off. We're going to kick it off right now, right? Welcome to the board and to the show, JJ Heredia.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I wish I was good at golf, Kevin. I'm not very good, and I'm even worse when it's cold. So hopefully in Indy we get some nice weather, right? So everybody can enjoy the most competitive golf tournament for any type of event in transportation.
Exactly right. So I'm horrible at golf too. It doesn't stop me whatsoever to get out there and have a couple beverages, take a few swings. I might pick up my ball for a few holes and just enjoy the ride, not to slow everybody down, which I usually do. So, but it's a great time, a great way to kick off. And this conference, you don't have to choose between learning labs, which are uber valuable. Super valuable, real hands-on tutorials and freight, because those start on Tuesday. So you can come in and play golf, and then go to learning labs, and then the conference starts.
Yeah, a lot of value. The biggest value is developing the relationships with all the parties, right? There's so many parties in logistics coming in, and I think everybody has to understand what everybody has to offer. People always say they want to help, but we have to understand what people have to offer so they could actually provide help, right?
Mm-hmm. I harp on this. I say it all the time. I'm going to say it once more. I'll probably say it about 5 more times during this episode. It is such an awesome feeling to see brokers out there, certainly to see carriers out there, drivers out there doing deals, covering loads on the floor, developing those relationships, learning more about each other's kind of role in the supply chain, kind of why brokers do what they do sometimes, why carriers do what they do sometimes, getting that empathy, that real sells, that builds great relationships and great business.
Yeah, I mean, you hit that. People are actually communicating, right? I think there's a lack of communication in this industry, and our whole goal at the Broker Carrier Summit is actually to better evolve the communication from the relationship moving forward, right? So we're the standard, and I think that people should follow the standard, and we're also an exception because we have exceptional people that are actually coming on and supporting us.
Exactly right. Exactly. It's great to see, that communication, when it works out well, deals get done on the floor, and I love seeing deals get done. Yeah, and you've been to almost at all the Broker Carrier Summits yourself. What do you look forward to whenever you get on the plane and get that flight and land wherever we're having the conference?
Yeah, so honestly, I like seeing carriers, right, and understanding how they feel when they actually get to talk to their people face to face. Today, I made a post on LinkedIn about closing deals, right, shaking hands and giving everybody a nice little wink. I'm not very good at the wink, right, but I'm really good at shaking hands, so that's the strong part. But whenever you get people involved, right, I think with so much fraud in this industry, it's good to know who you're going to be working with, and so getting to know your carrier, getting to know the broker, right, and at that point, if there's any mishaps, now they know each other, and that way they could actually communicate and fix the problems. Logistics itself is a problem. There's a lot of things that could go wrong from the very get-go. The load's not ready, right, from the shipper. That's on. And then the communication from the broker to the carrier. Then the carrier is late because the load wasn't there on time or loaded on time, right? Or there's a delay in traffic. But the communication there and the expectation that you can resolve anything in logistics should be the result, right? And I think that's what the summit. That's what I'm most excited about. The summit is getting those carriers in front of their potential customers and getting those brokers in front of the people that they actually know, right? There's a lot of fraud that they actually know, and there wasn't lately. There's a lot more fraud out there than there was in the years past. It's always existed, but I think getting back to working with carriers and knowing who they are could actually prevent that.
Exactly right. We'll be talking about fraud a little bit later with Matt Furnish from Highway. Let's talk about our technology partners too. Pi Software is sponsor of the BCS Summit show. Big shout out to the great folks over at Ty, Sean, and Mitch, and all the group over there. We appreciate your support. There we go. There's our B-roll there for Ty Software, your TMX complete freight management solution. So, and they'll be out there in Indianapolis. Trey and I will be doing a 1 week before the event, a full day of a technology demo day, showcase, interviews. So if you want to know what technology is going to be out there, if you're shopping for technology and you want to hit the ground running, watch it. We'll be promoting that. I think it's 1 week before we all actually get to Indianapolis and be able to meet a lot of the tech vendors that, virtually, that you'll be wanting to talk to and schedule meetings with once you get down on the ground. But yeah, my favorite thing about PCS here, you get into these workshops where a carrier will say, I hate it when a broker does this. So I mean, why does a broker do that? And a broker stands up, well, this is the reason why we do it, right? You might agree with it, you might not agree with it, but logically you understand why they're doing that. It just gives you information to be able to develop those partnerships, right? Develop those partnerships, eliminate the fraud, and keep your wheels moving and your margin flowing from either side of the transaction.
I agree with you 100%.
Well, let's bring on Matt Furnish, who's a great partner at BCS Summit from Highway. Matt, how are you doing today?
Doing fantastic. Just another cloudy day here in Cleveland, but excited to jump on and talk to you guys about Broker Carrier Summit, the road to the summit here, getting to Indianapolis at the end of April. Excited for it. Happy to support. It's where I'm from, Indianapolis, born and raised. So, we got to shout out the Hoosiers, by the way, new coach. So I think, all my friends back home, that's what we're talking about. But thanks for having me on, Kevin, JJ. It's good to meet you, man. And excited to talk through this. Let's get you up.
Well, let's get you up. It's great to see you. We saw each other down here in Fort Worth at the last BCS Summit. Always good to see you. Always good to talk to you. What's your favorite thing about the BCS Summit? You've been to a few of these as well. So, what are you looking for and forward to Indianapolis?
Yeah, man. Good question. So, I'm in freight tech, right? So I go to every conference that'll have me. But what I love about Broker Carrier Summit is that you get to talk about the same things you've been talking about, but there's more carriers in the room. And it's interesting because the people that are attending the BCS are typically people that are open-minded, that want to talk through these concepts and these topics with the other side of the room and learn. It's also just refreshing to see motor carriers, jumping in. A lot of the conferences I go to, you don't see motor carriers there. And they're of all sizes, big and small. I mean, I was talking to a 5-truck guy at the last show in Fort Worth, and it's just going through his business. It was awesome just to get caught up to it, right? Like when I used to broker freight back in the day, I had those conversations every day. I don't get to have those conversations as often. So hearing it directly from the carrier was great, and I just know there's a lot of value exchange between both sides of the room. So excited to be a part of it. Yeah.
I saw an announcement on LinkedIn. I think it was this week. It might have been last week, maybe a couple of days ago. Highway for carriers.
Yeah. Big deal. Yeah. Well, look, I mean, we've given brokers the ability to know who they're talking to, right? They get a phone call, they get an email. Who are you talking to? Who is this carrier, right? Is it a carrier or is it a bad guy? And now we're doing the same thing for carriers, right? They get a phone call from a broker. We're going to give them the information. It's completely free. Really good opportunity for carriers to just, before taking that load from a broker that they've never worked with, who am I talking to? Let's just make sure that this is somebody in good standing. This is legitimate, that I'm not being spoofed, right? Biggest issue out there right now is the spoofing, right? It's they add G. It's like, yeah, that brokerage isn't using a Gmail. I'm sorry to break it to you. Right. You should have seen that one coming. So no, it's great. I'm excited for Highway to continue to give back to just the freight community and all sides involved.
Since you guys released that product, Matt, have you guys seen people come to your website from the carrier standpoint, and what's the volume look like? I think if we don't talk about it, right, it's a useful tool. I like to make sure that tools are being used, and obviously your foundation will be solid so you can build a house. And if you destroy that foundation, right, because you don't have those tools, you can't build a house. So how many people have already signed up, or do you guys keep track of that information?
Yeah, I don't have the numbers right now. I can tell you that how we started this is we started a couple months back with a couple hundred carriers that we have relationships with, and really just took time to make sure that we got this right, got their feedback, built a system that would help them. So, I mean, we got 236,000 carriers on platform in Highway. So that's 236,000 carriers that have already come to the system and claimed their identity. So they're familiar with our product. Now it's, hey, just go to the other side and use this in a different way, right? Don't use Highway on the defensive in a broker wants to onboard with you. Well, I'm going to go to Highway and use my identity. Use it on the offensive. And that is now understand what brokers that you're not working with that are on Highway, right? So really cool. It's completely free. And the only caveat is you got to connect your ELD, I do believe. So that helps both sides, helps the brokers and the carriers that they want to, the carriers who want to show the broker community where they are sending their trucks, right? So cool way to do business and just trying to bring more visibility to the space.
I don't think that's a bad thing, Matt, sharing the ELD information. And just like, if you're a good guy, right, here's how you validate it. If you're a bad guy, I don't want you to know where I'm at.
There's just too much at stake right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Tons of fraud. I was just reading the headlines today of all the fraudulent things that we've seen. And, whether the industry wants to acknowledge it or not, like the more fraud that's present, it's not just hurting brokers, it's hurting carriers. It's hurting the legitimate carriers. This double brokering, right, is literally taking money out of legitimate carriers' pockets, right? So that's what we're committed to stopping. And it's not just a one side of this equation. It is the entire industry.
The schemes that you're seeing, because I think about on the brokerage perspective, because I'm a former broker, you're a former broker, how you get scammed if you're a broker, but is it the kind of same techniques and methods for scammers whenever they're reaching out to customers?
Yeah, a lot of what we're seeing on the carrier side, right, when you think about the scam and how it affects the carrier, a lot of the times, right, the bad actor has to move this freight. And so the oldest trick in the book is just confusing the carrier on who they actually are. So same thing that the bad actor doing to the carrier, to the brokers, it is, you think you're working with someone and you're not. It's not that entity at all. Or they've just set up an MC that looks clean but isn't, right? There might be 2 years of history there. They're using MCs that have gone undetected, that people have not, reported fraud with. And there's brokerages that are going to look completely legitimate until the carrier is actually defrauded. And what these bad actors will do is, like, they're going to cash in, right? They spent time building up this MC. So they will run things completely legitimate until it's time to cash in. And then they're going to take just going on a big take. And so they'll defraud as many people as they can. And what we want to do is just give carriers the ability to catch that sooner.
Mm-hmm. What he meant to say, this is brought to you by Highway and Tyrite. And until we actually get Matt back, he just wants the carrier wants to catch everything sooner, right? So
I think we have Matt back now.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I have a quick question for you, right? Along the same lines, Matt, is that there's probably much more robust information on carriers, right? Because you have safety, you have inspections, you have all kinds of official public data, right? For brokers, there's not much out there. You have your FMCSA profile, but it's hard to build that profile and know who you're talking to. There's 25,000 active MC numbers right now. And the amount of information found publicly on most of those is almost zero.
Yeah, you got credit information from factoring companies or Ansonia, right, or DNB, but even some brokerages they don't go out and sell their load. Yeah, they don't go out and sell some of their loads, right? They could work. I'll give you an example. Out in McAllen and Laredo area, a lot of these brokers, smaller brokers, they're very transactional with local carriers, right? So that information never hits anywhere because it's two companies that have worked together for 15 years, right? And this is how they've done business, and that's it. And so you don't see all the data. So I agree. It's hard to see who you're working with from the broker standpoint. The carrier, you connect the ELD, but you can't connect an ELD to a broker. Look at all of us, right? We're all working from home, unless that's your office, Matt, because your office is built like a house,
like a spare bedroom in Cleveland. Yeah.
There's I think you guys have a good tool. I'm glad that you guys came out and are looking at both ends, right? Because we have to protect the carrier. The biggest problem in this industry is, you put a lot of good carriers out of business because they haul a couple bad loads, right? And now you're dealing with more fraud because there's more fraudulent brokers. You're not putting those guys out of business. You're putting the good carriers out, and they need tools. They need tools to make sure that they protect their business. And so I'm really thankful that Highway and your team support the carrier side.
Well, JJ, I would just want to invite you to, carriers that you work with every day. Make sure that they have their ID completed in Highway, that they're using it. And we'd love to hear your feedback, from you and the rest of the carrier community. What data points can we put out there on brokers that would be helpful? We're doing many of the same things we're doing on the broker side of the equation with just like the network effects, right? If someone across platform uses a carrier that is bad, right, there's a report. Same thing for a carrier. If a carrier is defrauded by a broker, we want to hear about it, and just help protect the industry overall from the bad actors. We gotta get these guys out of the industry. It's going to take everybody, all hands on deck. So it's excited that carriers get to get some value out of Highway now.
Yeah, I think you're obviously going to Indianapolis, right? I think it's good to have carriers go talk to you and see that you're actually a trusted source, and vice versa with the brokers, right? Seeing why Highway's building this, right? And having that conversation out loud and in front of people.
Well, back to what Kevin said, right? Like a lot of us, especially on the tech side, like a lot of us were brokers at one time, and that's no different for me. And when I was in my 15 years at Robinson, I was on the capacity side of the equation. So we treated carriers as our customers. I only talked to motor carriers every day. That's all that I did. So I understand what owner ops, small fleets, even large fleets, what everybody's going through. And, I'm just excited to be able to just continue to have a way to add value to what they do. Like that is without a doubt, the hardest job in America is driving a truck on the road. It's dangerous. You're away from your family, your loved ones. You're on a clock 24/7. You don't get to determine your schedule. You are on a clock, and you got to be, moving along.
Legally, Matt, 14 hours with 11 hours of drive time. But like, who's counting? Not me.
No, yeah, like like you only have this much time to make money every day. Like that's it, right? Like
Yeah,
It's
you literally have a set schedule, but like you click on your ELD, right? Boom, you got 11 hours to go. Like,
you're under the gun.
Yeah.
Like, you better get moving. Yeah, and God forbid if like somebody isn't ready to unload your truck when you show up. So it's crazy, man. These carriers are just dealing with so much already. So it's awesome that the product team was quick. They've been working on this for a year plus. They just wanted to take their time and get it right. So I'm excited. It's finally here, and excited to get feedback on it in Indianapolis. Definitely.
So, are you on a panel? Plus, or anyone else from Ohio? I know you guys have a panel doing something.
I haven't gotten I haven't gotten called out of the bullpen yet, so we'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm sure that any highway resource is ready to talk about highway at the show on a panel or not. So definitely.
Awesome. Well, excited to see you out there. I'm sure you're excited to get out there, and we'll see you then.
Yeah, looking forward to it, guys. Appreciate you.
appreciate
Perfect.
you, Matt.
Thank you very much, Matt. Always fun to talk to Matt. Always is, and talk about.
That's the first
what's
time I've talked
happening.
to him, Kevin, and he seemed like a great guy. So
Yeah, I mean, he is. Yeah, no, he definitely is. And we'll be talking about fraud out at the BCS summit. Fortunately, right, because it is such a problem in the industry right now, and it's something that everyone has to devote a lot of time to. And we just have some great resources to learn more about that and to develop those relationships. Right, that's really the key. Right, if you're a broker, developing those carrier relationships. If you're a carrier, developing those broker relationships. So you're consistently doing business with people that you know, and it's all about doing business with people that you know. Eliminates a lot of the risk.
Makes it a lot easier, right? When you know somebody.
It does. Sleep easier at night.
If I was a broker, I'd let Kevin Hill Trucking haul my freight. I know Kevin, right? So, I don't need any vetting until I've already met him.
Or you haven't seen me drive. If you saw me on the road, you might not let me even near it. Might let me broker the freight, but not actually drive a truck. But yeah, I'm excited to get out to Indianapolis. We'll be doing this each week on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Central Time, noon on the Eastern time zone. So we're hot and heavy. It is summit season, and we are on the road to the summit. Can't wait to get there. We have a lot of great parties planned out. We have expect to see you out there, JJ, is karaoke night.
Oh man, I'm not a good singer. So I hope you don't see me. I hope you see me out there. I hope you don't hear me. If you hear me, it's going to be a long night, Kevin.
It will be. I'm sure it'll be a long night no matter what. So, but great events. Check us out, brokercarriersummit.com. You can register there as well. We have a great crowd coming out. Ticket sales have been robust. They've been fantastic, and the broker and carrier portion of that is overwhelming. It's just growing leaps and bounds each event that we put on. So really excited to get out there to top it up with everybody.
Yep, me too, man.
JJ, that's going to wrap it for this episode, the road to the Broker Carrier Summit. And as I said, we'll be back next Thursday live again with great guests, and we'll be previewing some of the content and what's going to be going on the entire week, that last week of April in Indianapolis at the Union Hotel.
Yep. Thanks to our sponsor, Ty. You've been a great partner. So hopefully we get to meet. I haven't met anybody from Ty myself personally, but I've seen your guys' product. It's great. I know a couple of my clients utilize it. So.
Yeah, a great group of people. So we'll meet. I'll make sure that you meet the group from Ty out in Indianapolis, and we'll go share a beer with them.
All right. Good to see you, Kevin.
Good.